It was the late 19th century in Calcutta, a city alive with poetry, culture, and the constant rhythm of everyday life. In its narrow lanes, rickshaw bells rang out, the aroma of hot tea and roasted peanuts drifted in the air, and children's laughter mingled with the calls of hawkers. Among this sea of faces walked tall strangers, men from faraway Afghanistan. Wrapped in turbans with weather-worn hands and heavy sacks slung over their shoulders, they brought raisins, almonds, and stories from distant mountains. The people of Calcutta called them the Kabuliwalas. But their true burden was not just dry fruits, it was memory. It was longing. It was the weight of a father's love carried across miles of silence. In this podcast, we bring you the story of one such Kabuliwala, Rehmat, and his unique bond with a little girl named Minnie, a friendship born of innocence, a bond that carried the echo of a father's love, and a tale that still stirs the heart more than a century later. Minnie was 5 years old, a whirlwind of questions and chatter. Why is the sky so high? Why don't elephants have wings? Her father, who was a writer, often struggled to answer them all. One morning, as Minnie stood by the window, a deep, booming voice rose from the street below. Raisins, almonds, fresh from Kabul. Minnie peeped out and saw a giant of a man, Rehmat, the Kabuliwala. His tall frame, his strange clothes, his booming voice frightened her at first. She darted inside, clutching her sari. But Rehmat smiled. He reached into his sack and pulled out a handful of raisins, offering them with gentle eyes. Hesitantly, Minnie took them, and just like that, fear melted into giggles. It was the start of a friendship. Every day, Rehmat visited Minnie. He brought little treats, and in return, Minnie shared endless chatter. She told him about her dolls, her neighbors, her silly fears. Rehmat also shared stories about his faraway land, of mountains capped with snow, of sheep grazing in valleys, of a daughter waiting for him back in Kabul. Minnie's father watched them quietly. At first, he was cautious, but slowly he realized that Rehmat saw in Minnie the reflection of his own daughter, the one he had left behind years ago. Every story carries shadows, and Rehmat's came all too soon. One afternoon, the quiet of the lane shattered with angry voices. Rehmat had been bargaining with a customer. Words turned sharp, tempers rose, and in that single terrible moment of rage, Rehmat drew his knife. The man fell, bleeding, his cries piercing the air. A crowd gathered, their voices echoing. "Catch him! Catch the Kabuliwala!" Rehmat struggled, pleading, "I have a daughter, let me go to her." But the crowd was merciless. The police dragged him away, iron chains clinking against his wrists. That evening, Minnie sat by the doorway, the sun dipping low. She clutched the raisins he had once given her, her small eyes fixed on the street, waiting for her friend. But Rehmat never came. Days turned into weeks, weeks bled into years. Minnie's laughter changed. Her dolls lay forgotten, and new stories filled her world. The Kabuliwala's name grew fainter in her memory, like a chalk drawing washed away by the rains. But inside his prison cell, Rehmat's world had only one face, the little daughter he had left in Kabul. Each night, he touched the faded handprint in his pocket and whispered to himself, "Wait for me, my child. Just wait for me." 8 long years had passed. Minnie was no longer the talkative child who asked why the sky was blue.
She was a bride now, her hands adorned with henna, her eyes lowered with shyness, her home filled with the fragrance of flowers and the music of celebration. In the midst of this joy, there was a knock at the door. Minnie's father opened it and froze. There stood Rehmat. His once powerful frame was bent with age, his beard streaked with grey, his robe dusty from the road. But his eyes, tired, yearning, still held the same light. "Sahib," he whispered, voice trembling, "where is my Minnie?" The father hesitated, then silently led him inside. When Minnie entered, draped in her bridal silks, Rehmat's heart leapt. He searched her face for the little girl who once laughed at his raisins. But Minnie's eyes, shy and distant, did not know him. "Minnie," he asked softly, "do you remember me?" She looked at him puzzled. "I'm sorry, who are you?" His heart shattered. The years had stolen her away. With shaking hands, he pulled out the same crumpled paper he had carried for so long, the charcoal imprint of his daughter's tiny hand. "Once, you too were this small. Perhaps, by now, my little girl in Kabul has grown. Perhaps, she too would not know me anymore." His voice broke. A silence spread through the room, heavy and unbearable. Minnie's father, eyes moist, placed money into Rehmat's hands. His voice quivered as he said, "Rehmat, today I give away my daughter in marriage. Go, find yours. Hold her before it's too late." Rehmat stood still, the wedding music drifting from the courtyard. He looked at Minnie one last time. No longer the little friend he once cherished, but a stranger dressed as a bride. With slow, heavy steps, he turned away. His figure disappeared into the busy streets of Calcutta, carrying with him a heart full of sorrow and the fragile hope of a reunion waiting beyond the mountains of Kabul. If this story touched your heart, share it with those you love, with those you miss, with those who may be waiting quietly in the corners of your memory. Because somewhere, someone may still be holding on to a handprint, a promise, or a hope, just like Rehmat, the Kabuliwala, waiting for the door to open, waiting to be remembered.